Hi, everybody. Hi. I did want to take about 5 minutes because I figured that this is, I hope I have a lot of residential contractors here or people who service the residential industry right here. And I wanted to talk a little bit about what our strategic plan is for the enforcement division and for consultation too, is what we focus on are falls, struck by, crushed by, and caught between. Those are our 4 leading hazards that cause death out in the field. And by far, falls is the number 1. This year we've had 10 fatalities in construction alone. There's 23 overall in MIOSHA, but we had 10 in construction alone, and 6 of those were falls. So it is a big important thing for us today, and I know we have an instructor or a trainer that's going to come up and talk about some fall protection issues. But we're doing a really good job with the injury and illness rates going down in Michigan, but you have to also remember, too, we haven't had a lot of work for the last few years, right? And one thing that I want you to be aware of is that construction makes up less than 4% of the whole workforce in Michigan. And yet, we still account for 10 out of the 23 fatalities that have occurred in Michigan. So it's a small percentage of workforce, but when we do have an accident, it sometimes tends to be a serious accident and a fatality. So falls is our number 1, and we are focusing on that. And our strategic plan, too, is we are going to focus on the small contractors, the residential sector, where we're seeing a lot of the injuries and illnesses. We found that over the past 5 years, 30% of the fatalities occurred in the residential industry. So we are focusing on the residential industry. And I really strongly recommend we have to get the training. We have fall protection, residential fall protection initiative now. And if you're not aware of that, I think SET has a program, a webinar that talks about fall protection for residential contractors. Also, they'll come out and help you with that, but we really want to reach out to the smaller contractors who need this. They really need this. They have to figure out ways to set the trusses, to work on roofs, and putting fall protection anchorage points up there. Maybe setting up some scaffolding around the building. You know, there has to be a way. Right now, the fall protection plans are out the window. You're going to have, it is believed that you can use fall protection. There are methods out there now to use fall protection. So that is one of the key things that we are focusing on. If you need help, please call, and please call SET for the help. Currently, we did, in our third quarter, we actually inspected 142 residential sites. And I just wanted to give you an idea of what the common violations that we're finding out there, so you have a good idea what we are focusing on. And the number 1 violation that we are issuing to residential contractors is not having an effective safety and health accident prevention program. And that's something that every employer has to have. You have to have it on your site, and you have to develop your accident prevention program, coordinate it with your employees, which means training, and maintaining it, so if there's any changes. So you have to, if you're just doing roofing, you really have to focus on fall protection. That is really what the main issue is in roofing. And the second most common violation is the employees were not wearing fall protection in residential sector. That is the number 2. And that one always goes out as a serious citation because somebody can get hurt in that one. And that generates the most fines also. The third one is hard hats. So I can remember when I was out in the field, there'd be 4 things when I walked up into on a residential site. It would be number 1, fall protection, right? Not having it or needed some tweaking, some help with it. 2 was hard hats. 3 was eye protection, and especially with nail guns. We've had a fatality last year, or earlier this year. Was it this year? It was this year. With a nail gun injury. We have a fact sheet on nail guns, and especially with the contact trips with the triggers, with the bump triggers. Those aren't supposed to be used. Those are they're okay to use. They're sold like that. But what they do is it's supposed to be for operations that are continuous operations where it's not part of your, going to be shot into your body, okay? And in this particular instance, the victim was holding it in his non-dominant hand, and he fired it, and it bumped off, and it hit him in his eye, and he wasn't wearing safety glasses. Safety glasses would have hopefully prevented that, because you don't think they do, but safety glasses would have saved him. So, and nail guns, and then the other one would be ladders, and we've had a lot of fatalities involving ladders. And it's basically ladder setup, portable ladders, usage. It's not setting it up, not tying them off, not setting them up 3 feet above the roof line, using step ladders where they're standing on the top step and cap. So those are the most common violations that we are seeing out there, and those are the ones that are causing the injuries. So just if you can, okay, this is your opportunity to talk to our folks out there, talk to some of the other vendors out here about the fall protection that is available for residential work. And it doesn't cost a lot of money. It really doesn't cost a lot of money to get these types of systems in place. And we're really here to help you, really. We want to see that injury and illness rate and fatality rate be 0. That would be wonderful, okay? So just step up, ask us about it, and we'll be happy to help you. Okay. So thank you very much.